Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so we're going to have just a market update on what's going on right now in the markets, I'm going to look at all the indices, long-term and short-term charts. I'm also going to look at silver and gold and also those sort of markets as well too, to give you a bit of a gauge of where we are right now, what's happening right now in the markets, and so on and so forth. Plus, also at the very end of this video as well too, I'll be talking about my trading, how it's evolved over the years, and the things that's really important to that has made the biggest difference in my trading, especially this year as well too. So I'll be talking a bit about that at the end of this video. Now, before I start, guys, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab my brand new trading course. I'm running a bit of a sale, $7 only. You can see the link in the description. Make sure you click on that. Go check it out just for $7, and you can get access to this entire trading course to get you access or get you moving in the markets. Let's actually get started now into today's video. Now, one thing I want to share with you today is this. The Dow Jones is pretty much almost at all-time new highs. If we zoom in here, let's go to the 3-month view here for a minute. 3 months, all right. We can see here pretty much the Dow is almost at all-time new highs, and it's probably going to jump that, run up to new highs. And the way the market's looking right now, it's probably likely to continue and probably likely to see a move run up to about 29,000 there. Now, the interesting thing is that back here, when we had this sideways movement through here, as you can see, through this sideways movement through here, I really thought that this was going to be some sort of a failure through here, and then we actually run down. And that's why you never trade based on what you think in the market. So, and again, that's just what I thought was going to happen. But as you can see, right, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but this longer term chart was creating this high low, and now we just continued up through here. So we're probably likely to continue breaking up to new highs. And then once it does that, that longer term chart there, let me bring up this chart through here. Okay, so this longer term weekly chart through here, that's telling me that the projection for about a 29 to 30,000 Dow is probably likely going to happen. And the recession, okay, the next downturn has not even started yet. Okay, now the interesting thing is that when you look at if you look at tops in the markets, big tops in the markets, we're talking about Dow Jones, S&P, stuff like that, okay? Big tops in the markets, they take about 12 months to form, sometimes a bit longer. And then it takes a good couple of years, 1 to 2 years on average, for sometimes a bit longer, but on average, for that whole bear market or that downturn to complete. Make sense? We haven't even started that downturn yet. So, and there's no sign of this actually being a top in the markets. We have gone sideways for a long time through here, just a lot of sideways, and now we're just compressing up. So this could be, and I always thought that this could be some sort of a top, but this could be just getting ready now. We've actually gone sideways now for almost, what's that? Well over a year and a half. We've just gone sideways, and now it looks like it's trying to gain a bit of legs, a bit of strength to move up and to go for another run again. So it'll be really interesting to see what the market does, and that's why it's so important to just continue to flow with what the market is telling you. So right now it's not even forming. We're not even forming a top right now in the markets. We can see that we have this low. This is still another clear higher low, high. So we have definitely a very strong upward trend right now, and there's no sign of this whole topping, this actually being a top formation. Again, we'll just have to wait and see how this market unfolds. We have to continue reading it from there. So, and again, you can see on this line chart as well too, nice higher low through there. The S&P 500 is doing something very similar as well too, pretty much breaking up to all-time new highs. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we did break that now. We've had a nice pullback through here, nice sideways movement, now we're going for a run. Again, we may be going for another run through here. The interesting thing that I am seeing across the market is that I'm seeing a lot of, there's the opposite indicator. My earliest mentor always said, John, I don't always know what to do, but I figure out what most people do, and they'll do the exact opposite, and I seem to do well out of that. A lot of people, including myself, right? But a lot of people seem to be thinking that you know, the recession's come around the corner and all this sort of stuff. And that's the word think, right? You never trade based on what you want to think. If you think something's going to happen, or you hope something's going to happen, or you're fearful something's going to happen, you never want to trade based on that, okay? Because that's never trading is never based on a plan like that. So you can see how we just continue to move up from here with the S&P, same as the Dow Jones, very, very similar. So it looks like we're gaining a lot of legs through here. So it'd be really interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. And then it's again, guys, it's we don't know what's going to happen, but it's our job just to continue to flow with the market as it moves. Let's go through to the IWV. Russell 3000, same sort of thing. The transportation average now is one that is just pretty much nothing going on here. If we look at this weekly chart here, we can see how there's pretty much nothing going on. We've made a lower low, lower high, a double bottom. Now we've made a higher high. So really nothing going on here. No one clearly in control. So it'd be really interesting to see what actually happens on this daily chart. Do we get a sort of a high low through here and a break up? As you can see through all this entire, say, let's go say to 1 year worth of charts. We can see we have this pretty much, there's a bit of a channel going through here on the transportation average. So that's pretty much the top of the channel where it is there. And then we have a bit of a bottom of the channel through this. You can see how it's pretty much been channeling through that there for quite some time. So it'd be really interesting to see whether we do get a bit of a backing pattern through here and then a continuation from there. And then also looking onto the Russell 2000. Same sort of thing, you know what I mean? Like we've got that major resistance going on through there, and we've got this major support going through. Pretty much nothing going on. The interesting thing about this, guys, is when the market when the market goes sideways like this, and you identify it, it's called the calm before the storm. You know, you guys have probably heard it, right? The calm is when nothing's going on for quite some time. It's having a bit of a breather. When we do get a break, it's likely to break hard and fast. Now, when I say that, don't put in your mind, get in now because it's going to go for a vertical spike. Throw that shit out the window, okay? I know some people on YouTube say vertical spike is coming or big crash is coming, blah, 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 or whatever, right? No, when I say a big move, right, the big move could take 3-6 months for that big move to happen, okay? A lot of people have this thing in their mind of, oh, gold's going to spike, so I better get in now before it's too late. No, be smart, right? No FOMO. The market's gonna crash tomorrow. I better get in now before I miss out. No. I better get in now. It's gonna crash. All right? No. All right? What is a crash? 2008, guys, right? What was 2008? 2008 was what? 2008. It was actually over. It started towards the middle to the end of 2007 and ended in the middle of 2009. Pretty much 2 years, right? It took 2 years for what? The crash to happen. 2 years. Not 1 year, not 6 months, not 1 day. Yes, we had big down days within that downward phase, but please guys, don't be FOMOing into this market, okay? Don't be like, oh, quickly got to get in now before I miss out. No, don't. Right? Be smart. Because guys, you know, once you go through that phase of guys of blowing up your account several times, you're like, you know, I'm gonna be a bit smarter about the way that I'm doing things here right now. There's always going to be an amazing. You know, I would prefer you to have your powder dry and wait for a good opportunity than try to chase something. And most of the time, when you chase something, you're only going to get your ass handed to you. So that's what's happening right now on the Russell there. And as you can see here, right, it's pretty much the same. Look at this here. Now, this could be some sort of, now looking on this weekly chart, really interesting, right? Look at that there. This weekly chart, look at this here. That actually could be some sort of big bull flag. Look at that there. Really interesting, right? I actually just noticed that. Look at that, move up through there. So we could get some sort of a bull flag through there, as you can see. So we move up through there. And then maybe like a bit of a bull flag through there. Actually, you know what? That actually looks pretty good through there. Let me do that now. We have pretty much something going on through there. Is that through there? No. All right, so we pretty much have something going on through there. Create a parallel trend line. We have definitely something going on through there. So possibly this is a big bull flag. If this is a big bull flag and we break out, then we take this, we create a parallel trend line, we extend that out, to the break. And that's where the projection is 190 up there. So really, really interesting, guys. That's actually, bull. That could be a possible bull flag now forming on there. So really interesting to see what's going on through there. Now, guys, this is the individual. This is looking at the indices here, right? Not the individual stocks. It's really important to understand that has nothing to do with the individual stocks itself. This is just looking at the indices here. Now let's have a look at silver and gold right now. So silver and gold right now on the short term, we're definitely getting. Let's bring up just a 3-month view here for a minute. Right, we're definitely getting a bit of a sideways phase. Nothing really going on. We're getting definitely a lot of support down through here, and we're definitely getting a lot of resistance up through here as well too. So it's definitely just going through a bit of a sideways phase, a bit of a resting phase for quite some time. As you can see, right, the resting phase has pretty much, we went through a move up through here, and then it started just going sideways. So we've been pretty much going sideways for quite some time here. So it'll be really interesting to see where we actually break. So we've pretty much gone sideways now for pretty much the entire August, and now almost, and pretty much, so about a month and a half now we've been going sideways. Just as you can see, it's actually bouncing off where it is today. So by looking at that there, guys, there's a few possibilities that may be happening through here. The first possibility is that we're just going through this resting phase before we go through another run. Or secondly, we're actually forming some sort of a short-term head and shoulder formation. So we have this shoulder, head, and it could be forming some sort of right shoulder through here. Again, guys, this is a daily chart. I don't think that head and shoulder formation, I don't think it's going to be, if it is a head and shoulder formation, I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. We may get a very short-term move down, and then it's probably likely to continue back up. Now, what I have seen is that these head and shoulder formations is actually more of a continuation pattern. So I've seen the market go up, form some sort of a head and shoulder formation, break down, and then continue up again. Right? So we get a little breakdown, and then we break up again. Now, how do we know whether this head and shoulder formation is likely to be a continuation pattern, I mean it's likely to continue up from here, or it's actually likely to be some sort of rounding top and we're likely to head down for quite some time? It's called we would see a false breakout scenario situation. So what I mean by that is that we see this point through here, right, and we see this point up through here. So we'd say, okay, this would be the shoulder, okay. If this is the head and shoulder, okay, we don't know, but obviously we're looking at the if scenarios here, and I'm just sharing with you, okay, keep an eye out for these situations happening here, okay. We actually had a bit of a double top through here, didn't we, too? So a bit of a double top formation there, but within that double top, we could also say that was one big sort of shoulder formation through there, right, one big head, and we could be forming some sort of right shoulder here, okay. I don't know, but just looking at the possibilities of what may be happening right now on the short term of gold. Long term of gold, looking at that there, I wouldn't be too surprised if we did see a bit more of a backing pattern through here, or at least a bit more of a sideways phase before we actually go for another run through there. So I wouldn't be too surprised that happening. But looking back on that daily chart there, guys, you can see that shoulder could be some sort of a head and possibly some sort of right shoulder through here. If it is a right shoulder forming through here, and that's what we're looking at through there, then what I would let's just do this here. Let's go to the daily chart. There we go. That's a bit better. And let's go that one there. All right. So as you can see, right. So the shoulder, possible head, possible shoulder through there. What would this look like if it was a continuation pattern? Well, we would get something like this here, right? So we get this here, and we probably possibly get this shoulder fill in here, and then we have a breakdown, right? And then I'd probably pause. So we break down past this support level through, right? So this is the neckline here. And if it does do that, and then suddenly we get a complete back reversal back above this resistance line through here, which is this point through here, if we get that sort of action, then that will tell you that this whole scenario is just a false breakout to the downside. Again, this is the short term here, okay? A false breakout to the downside. And then if that happens, then yes, then it's now likely to be a continuation pattern. If we get some sort of situation like this where we go sideways for a bit more, and then we break down past this support level, and then when it does that, it just doesn't go anywhere, and then we break back above the 1500 level. If that happens, then we're now likely to see this sort of action continuing up from here, breaking back up to a new high for the year, and then maybe possibly going for another run again. Makes sense? But I don't think again, by looking at the markets, I would say that we're now likely to go sideways for a bit more time, just to get a bit more energy build up. We've been going for a pretty big run for quite some time in gold, so I wouldn't be too quite surprised. Even if it does if it creates that some sort of a false breakout, we'll probably go for a false breakout. If we do get that false breakout situation here, then my first target would be at least up here. But I wouldn't be too quite surprised if we did start to see this for a little bit, and then once it breaks, we've now built up a bit more energy, and build up a bit more energy for that to flow. So let me know what you think in the chat box below when it comes to gold. It'd be really interesting to see what's going on through there. Looking at that long term there, looking at this weekly chart here. Again, if I take it off the screen here, again, by looking at this long term chart, let's go to say 1 year or a couple of years worth of data here. We've had a low, a big move up, and now we're just going through here. So again, guys, I wouldn't be too quite surprised if we did spend another maybe another month just going sideways, maybe a little bit of a backing pattern pullback, just so the profit taking and things can stabilize when it comes to price and time. What I mean by that is that we go through this price move through here, and then we just go through a bit of a backing pattern through. Okay, we've gone through a nice move through here, so a bit of a backing pattern, a bit of a sideways phase for a month or two, just for things to calm down. And then once it does that, then we're probably likely to have enough fuel, enough energy in the markets for the buyers to come back in and then take it for another run. I do believe long term, guys, that we're likely to see the all-time high on gold and also silver. But looking at gold here, I do believe that we have started an enormous bull run over the next, say, half a decade for gold. And again, guys, half a decade, right? But within that, right, we're likely to see some good pullback. So I wouldn't be too quite surprised if we did see a bit more of a sideways movement, or even just a bit more of a pullback, say to maybe around say the 1400 level. And then if it does do that, then it'll be a good time to see that, again, I would say that we've started that big bull run for an investing purposes. Trading, completely different, guys. Okay, this is more like for trading purposes here, in that there. Now, if I go look at silver here for a minute, let's go have a look at silver. So what's been happening here with silver? Okay, so let's delete everything off the screen here. So silver, we've actually had, we've had a nice trend line coming up through here on silver, haven't we? All right, so that's the first thing we've had here. We've had a low, we've had a high low, market ran up, came down, and now we broke back below. So it'll be really interesting to see how the market reacts to this trend line here, because it was a very solid trend line coming up through there, and now we're just sort of just backing off through here, and we're creating some sort of a short-term channel through here. So it'll be really interesting to see how it forms through here. If we do get back above this 1850 level through here, there's actually a bit of a short-term resistance through there, as you can see. If I bring up this line through here, so around that 1850 level there, guys, you can see how we have that. We have a lot of, see how these bars here, right, had a lot of problems. Let me zoom in here. I had a lot of problems breaking above there. And then we ran up, came back down, and now we're still having a lot of problems. Again, around that 1850 level, all through here as well too. A lot of problems. We even rejected this day and we broke back down. So if the market does get back above that 1850 level, which is also this downward trend as well too, this sort of downward movement through here, then that would actually be a very, very bullish sign. The reason why is because we actually break above this resistance line, and then this line here, which was support. And now possibly that could become resistance. So if we get back above here, that's a very bullish sign looking there for silver there. But looking on that longer term chart there, guys, again, I wouldn't be too surprised to see. Now we've had such a very big vertical move in silver. I wouldn't be too surprised to see either a bit of a backing pattern, a bit more of a pullback, or at least another maybe few weeks or maybe month, just going sideways here, just refueling, just like I don't have my charts here right now, but just like if you look at some of the crypto markets, right, or some Bitcoin, right, just like Bitcoin's doing right now as well. So that's basically what I see through there, guys. Let's have a quick look at the other sectors here. So let's go to the SIL. So the last 3 months on SIL have been pretty much nice high low. We've got this high low through here. As you can see here, right, we had this very short-term resistance level through here. That's actually been now, it's somewhere through there. I would say. So somewhere through there we had that resistance. You see I had a lot of problems through there as well. And now we continue to break down through here. We do have some sort of support and resistance line coming on through here, as you can see. So from that point through there, nice little higher low. We got a nice little bounce off there as well too. And if I just bring this up through here, it's probably going to be, yeah, probably somewhere through, is it through there or through there? So as you can see, guys, like when you're drawing your trend lines, it's more of an art. You're just looking for, when you're drawing trend lines, guys, I'm looking for more bounces the better. So you can see what's happening through here. So it'll be really interesting to see what's happening through there. This is on the SIL. Let's go to the 6-month view here for a minute. And yeah, you can see what's going on through here. So again, possible another sort of head and shoulder formation, but we are compressing back up again. So it'll be really interesting to see. We did get this sort of lower high or small little lower high, and we're breaking down now. So let's go have a look at that weekly chart for just a minute. And yeah, we've been going up for quite some, we've been sort of slowly going up through. So I get a bit more of a, we do have a bit more of a backing pattern, but that resistance level right through there, which is just below it, that's that resistance there on that weekly chart. And that's actually just below it there. So there's definitely a lot of support levels coming into play right there where it is right now. So let's take that off the screen. And so we're still creating higher lows through here. So I wouldn't be too quite surprised to see this thing continue up. SILJ, really, really nice. Again, higher low. Bit of a sideways back, sort of sideways phase through here again. Just going through a bit of a resting phase, guys, and then continue, and then I believe we're going to see a nice move back up from in the markets. Maybe another few weeks, or maybe for a month. Then we're now likely to see that. Moving on through to the GDXJ. The GDXJ has completely turned around in the markets and showing it's definitely a lot more pressure in there, right? So we have this nice big double top formation through here. We did indeed actually break this neckline, this is the ultimate support line through here, as you can see. So that was the support line through there. It actually broke below it. And it's really interesting, right, how these support lines work. Look at this here. So we had a lot of support. Look at it, support through there. And notice this here. Notice how we actually had this bar here, could not get back above it. Once we got below it, could not get back above it. It actually broke back above it, but look where it closed. And now we're actually heading down. So again, this is the short term here, but as a trader, right, there's the differences between your investor, buy, hold, and let go for half a decade, or you're a trader, get in, hold for a couple of days, couple of weeks, so on and so forth, right? So it's important to see how these support and resistance lines work. Once it was broken, right, then you can see what's actually happening through here. So moving back now into, say, the 6-month view, a bit of a double top formation, and now we actually breaking back down. But if we look at that weekly chart here, guys, we definitely have a major support level coming around that, possibly around that, say, $34 level. So looking at this big move on this weekly chart, we see how we've actually already had this massive, we had this low, high low, we've had this high. So I do believe this is probably going to cause some sort of higher low through here. And then we're going to probably likely to continue back up from there, looking at that GDXJ there. So again, this is a short-term double top, a bit of a backing pattern, bit of a pullback, but within that bigger picture there, I do believe we're likely to start to see a bit of a turnaround here, but you'll let the market tell you that. And then let's go have a look at the GDX here once again, guys. Same sort of thing. Broke below support, same sort of thing, and now it's actually having a bit of a backing pattern. This entire move up, guys, we're probably likely to see a 50% pullback. There we go. So that's a move from the ultimate low point to the high point. And so we have this here, which is actually where my major support level is. Let's actually go to the weekly chart here for a minute. So you can see this 50 to 62% level through here is indeed, if I bring up my box here and draw that over and draw it on, and just so you know, we have this level through here is the 50% fib. This here is the 62% fib. So look at that there. And if you draw a line through on that's the 60% fib, that's the 50% fib. That whole area, this whole area through here is what? A major resistance. So it's all, this whole area through here was major resistance. So it's probably likely to be a major support through there. And then probably continue it back up again as well too. So that's where guys like short term, yeah, a bit of a backing pattern, a bit of profit taking, cool. You know, that's actually healthy for the market. It's healthy to get this nice little pullback. And then guess what? Then we're probably likely to see another big move up from there. But wait for the market to tell you guys, okay? Don't be jumping in, and that's what I said at the start of the video. Don't be trying to jump in and FOMO, I better get in now before I miss out and all that sort of stuff. That's what I've been saying for the last few weeks. Expect some sort of a pullback, right? So the pullback that we're getting, pullback or sideways movement, that we've been getting in the metals lately, was expected, right? As if you've been watching my videos for the last 2, 3, 4 weeks, I've been saying, get ready for that. We never know exactly when it's going to pull back. I'm not talking about a pullback on one day. I'm talking about the overall picture, right? Like we've been getting in gold. We've pretty much done nothing for a month. And same with silver and even the metals, right? SIL and GDX and so on and so forth, right? We're expecting something to pull back. But that's just normal. Expect it, right? We go for a big run. There's a bit of a profit taking. The FOMO guys get in, then the market pulls back. The FOMO guys get stopped out. The big guys that have been taking profit are now ready to buy it back up again and start to move it again. And so you're just waiting for that time. So just be patient, guys, okay? Be patient, be patient, be patient. You can do really, really, really well in the markets, and there's a lot of different areas that's important for you to become a good trader, in these markets here, and that's the reason why, if you want to get a good start, that's the reason why I've created the Master Trader Lab. You can see I think it's there's a link in the description there. I'm actually giving away a free trial to it where you can start to learn all about the foundations, the chart reading techniques, and and all that sort of stuff. If you don't want to get the free trial to that, you can just grab the $7 trading course sale that I'm getting. Again, the first 2 links in the description below. These are the things, right, that's really going to help you move forward in a big way. But don't be FOMOing into the market. Don't be trying to rush in the markets. Just be patient, guys. Okay, be patient. Wait for the market. Wait for a good time, because the thing that I realized in my own trading is that, and a lot of people a lot of people go through this, I went through it as well, is that you think, okay, I haven't had a trade for a few weeks, I'm not making money because I'm not trading, I need to trade so I can make money. So what do? End up doing? You trade because you just think it's a good idea, or it looks like it's a good idea because you're trying to make money. Guess what ends up happening? You actually go backwards, right? Because you're taking pretty much shit. You're not really, and you end up going backwards. Guys, I've got that t-shirt. I have a cupboard whole full of those t-shirts. So I know what you're going through. And that's why it's so important, guys. If you think about this in a perspective of the markets and you as a trader's your journey, is that if you look at the markets and you didn't see for a whole month, you kept looking at the markets every day, looking for really good trading opportunities based on some sort of a setup that you believe in, but you didn't see a trade for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right? You didn't take a trade for a whole month. Do you know, just by default, and I want you to look at this as a different lens into the markets, do you know by default you are up by default if your account is flat and you didn't take any shit trades? Why? One, most people are getting smashed. You know that for yourself. And secondly, you are doing the most hardest thing that actually helps you to become a good trader, and that's being patient, or being consistent, showing up every day, but then being patient and waiting for those good setups. And so therefore you are up by default. First, by financial, because you know yourself, when you take shit, you're gonna get shit and you're gonna get smacked, and the market's gonna take your money, right? Again, guys, I have that t-shirt, many of them. And secondly, by default, you're building those really good success habits that goes into a trader that can take any system and do really well from it, right? Which is that consistency, showing up, doing your scans, looking at the market, waiting for those really good trading opportunities, day after day, week after week. Yes, I'm going to turn up today. I'm going to do my scans. I'm going to look at the market. I'm going to go through the list of stocks. I'm going to look for that pattern that I really believe in. Nothing today. Come back tomorrow. Do my scans. Go through the stocks. Look for that pattern that I truly believe in. Nothing today. Come back tomorrow. Do my scans. Look through the stocks. Look for the pattern that I believe in. Nothing today. Let's go back. Come back tomorrow. Do my scans. Look for something that look through all the stocks. Look for that pattern that I believe in. There it is, right there. Take the trade. You're in it for a couple of days. Make a nice profit. You didn't get too greedy. It was a really nice profit. Thank you very much. Back tomorrow, right? Back to doing your scans, being consistent, showing up every day, being disciplined, waiting for that good setup that you believe in, being patient. Nothing today. Again, tomorrow, come back, same thing. Tomorrow, come back, same thing. There's a week of this go by, and same thing. 2 weeks of this by, 2 weeks go by, and you're doing the exact same thing. You're consistently showing up. You're consistently showing up. You're doing your scans. You're looking for the setup. No trade. I'm not going to trade today because I'm not going to take bullshit trades. And throughout this time, right, you're developing this patience and your account is staying flat. But then when you see that really good trading opportunity and you take it, that's how your account grows. It's by taking less trades, but less trades meaning quality trades. More trades does not equal more income in the markets, and never have, because trading is an emotional game. So how do you think by doing a lot more of that thing that's going to cause emotion is going to cause you to make good decisions, which is going to help you to make more money? It's the exact opposite, right? It's actually more trading doesn't equal more money. More trading just equals a lot more mistakes, you doubling up when you shouldn't, you getting out when you shouldn't, and a whole bunch of other rare, right? And it's just a whole bunch of stacking effect. And we think, and then, and then we go through those phases where it's like, oh, well, if I have a $10,000 trading account, I'm going to take this here. It's only $500, whatever. Let me just try this out. Let me try this, and we have that word try. Let me try this out. Let's see if this works. It's like that is the complete wrong approach in the trade in the first place, right? Because we know your trading plan or your trading system has a win-loss ratio. One trade means shit, right? Even if that one trade does work, doesn't mean your system works, right? Or what you did was right. Because if you get in the market, if you get into a trade based on what you think is going to happen and not based on some sort of plan and you make money, you are screwed. Because you're now going to go, oh, see, I got it right. I picked it right. I got it right. But the thing is, what's going to happen next time? Next time you're going to double up, aren't you? Next time you're going to double up because you got it right and you're like, oh, I'm the king. And then guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose that entire position and now your account is down massively. Makes sense? And so from this process, this is some of the things that I'll talk a lot more about this in the Master Trader Lab. You can get a free trial to this, but a lot of stuff I'm talking about here is in there. But this is what I call that foundational rules to help you become a good trader, to understanding, okay, what are the laws, what are the rules of helping you become a good trader in the market so you can get ahead? Because what you see is not what is reality in the markets, or what you think is the way to get ahead in the markets is actually complete opposite. I always thought that when I look at these charts through here, right? I always thought that I needed to use. Let me bring up a chart through here. All right, let's go to here. Right, here we go here. Right. So I always thought that I needed to have a chart that looked like this, right, to do well out of the markets. What a whole bunch of hogwash, right? I always thought that I needed that to do well. I needed a lot more. I needed more stuff on the charts. I needed 3 moving averages. I needed the Bollinger Bands. I needed support and resistance signs. I needed the stochastics. I needed the volume. Well, let me just add a MACD to that as well too. And I always thought that I needed that. I needed more stuff to give me the edge. And it's like, no. If you've watched my last few videos, that I put out over the weekend, or actually yesterday's video compared to this, I gave you a simple system that works, and what does it have? 1 moving average, chart, volume. That's it, and it kicks ass. But the thing is, guys, is that you gotta stop looking at the system that's going to help you do well, and look at yourself as a trader that's going to help you do well at the markets. You got to stop looking at the system that's going to help you do well, and you got to look at more. Now, yes, you need a system, but you got to look more at yourself that's going to help you become a good trader. Because you can take a really good trading system, and if you are absolutely shit by not showing up every day, not being consistent, you're not disciplined, and only taking that setup, and you're not patient and waiting, like I said in this video, then you're going to have a hard time moving forward in the markets, right? You're going to have a hard time struggling with these markets because it's going to be really, 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 really difficult for you to move forward, because it's not the system that makes you money. You have a good system, but if you're not consistently taking that system, how are you going to move forward, right? It's you that stops you in the markets. And so we need some sort of, take the system that I taught you yesterday and run with it, right? Just run with it, because that's going to help you do well in the markets. Absolutely run with that. But then that's 10% of your success. But then most of your success needs to come back down on you looking at yourself and helping yourself and encourage yourself to be a bit more consistent, showing up every day, doing your scans, looking for that setup. Nothing today, come back tomorrow. Being disciplined, being patient. And if you have to wait 1 day, 2 days, 4 days, 5 days, 7 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks for one good trade, then that's what the job as a trader is. And so from all this process here, right, again, most people focus on the system and that's going to help them be successful. But 90% of your focus when trying to become a good trader is you developing the habits that goes into a good trader. Because I'm telling you right now, is that you can take a really bad trader who's not consistent, disciplined, and patient, and with a good system, and take $1 million trading account and blow it up. Or you can take a really good trader with a simple system, just like I taught you yesterday, right? And he's consistent throughout the year, patient, discipline, stuff like that. And he has a $10,000 trading account, and taking that exact same approach, and in 5 years, he's a multiple 6-figure, if not a 7-figure trader. What is the differences? It's not the size of the trading account. It's not anything like that, right? What is it? It is you being a really good trader in the markets, and you're developing those habits, those skills that goes into a good trader that helps you to do really well. Makes sense, guys? So I hope this video here, this is a bit more of a Monday motivation, start of the week type video to help you guys get ahead, to help you guys kick ass in the markets, and hope today is really going to be some things to think about. If you want to be part of this world called trading, then you must start to apply the rules that goes into a good trader. You need to be a good trader. Stop looking at the market or the system or all these other things, that thinking this is the magic pill that's going to help me. Because I always used to think it was the volume, it was the stochastics, it was the Bollinger Bands, it was all these moving averages, it was the la 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 la. No, right? What you know? If you look back at where is that? Here, right? This is all you need to be successful. Okay? Take the system that I taught you yesterday, or if you want to learn more about that, then contact me. But take the system you learned yesterday in the video, right? I just taught you the system, right? I just gave it to you. Learn that, apply that, only trade that. You're probably going to have a 70 to 80% win-loss ratio. You're not going to make it's not going to make massive profits like 500% or 1,000% return on per trade, but 70% of the time you're probably likely to generate anywhere between 50 and 100 plus percent, 50 to 100 plus percent return on your investment per trade on the 70% of the time. And the 30% of the time you're likely to have, if you're trading options, trading in the money options, then you're likely to have maybe say a 30 or so percent loss, because you're going to have your losses in there. Every single trade, you don't know whether this trade is going to make you a profit, but if you take 10 of the same trades, that's how you do well on the markets. Make sense, guys? So, happy Monday, guys. I hope you have an amazing week. I'm very excited. Continue to work on yourself, guys. And if you want to be good at trading, then it's important to start to work on yourself at developing those habits that goes into a good trader. So you could take any simple system and rock it out with your socks out.